So will Social Security run out? Top lawmakers and advocacy groups are expressing great concerns over the several issues that Social Security and its recipients are currently facing. But there are a few strategies that have been put forward. This includes adjusting benefits for select beneficiaries and changing the eligibility requirements for the benefits. My dear friends, please do me a favor and watch until the end of this video. Also, this coming Friday and every Friday, I will be announcing winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. My friends, if you would like to enter these weekly giveaways, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways.
Mr. Speaker, the FAA reauthorization bill has a section requiring the FAA to conduct research and development to mitigate the impact of turbulence. As part of this, it requires the agency to conduct R&D to understand the impacts of climate change and other factors on the nature of turbulence. My amendment changes this requirement to focus on the impacts of weather rather than climate change. Weather patterns are a common cause of turbulence. Jet streams, storms, and the movements of warm fronts and cold fronts can all cause it. Mr. Speaker, this is, again, a common sense amendment. I urge adoption. I reserve.
Gentleman for what purpose does the gentleman from Georgia seek recognition?
I seek recognition to stand in opposition to this amendment.
The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in opposition to it. This amendment would direct the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration to ignore climate change as it studies the impacts of weather on the nature of turbulence. To deny the existence of climate change is to deny reality. There are copious amounts of data to show that climate change has been happening for decades. Recently, we've all experienced consecutive days of 90-plus degree heat here in Washington, D.C., as well as we've seen sustained increases in temperatures across the country. In fact, June 2023 was the hottest June ever recorded on the planet, according to NASA. The scientific definition of weather refers to short-term atmospheric conditions, while climate change refers to long-term patterns and shifts in our climate. The dramatic shifts caused by climate change are not merely weather, and to limit the NOAA's ability to study climate change would neglect our responsibility for ensuring safe air travel. Studying these long-term patterns and understanding how they impact turbulence is critical to putting the best safety practices in place, as well as understanding how to mitigate the impacts of turbulence. The NOAA must have the authority to gather the data we need to help keep Americans safe in the air, reduce flight delays, and improve our understanding of changing atmospheric conditions. Let us not force NOAA to put its head in the ground while climate change is happening all around us.
The future outlook for Social Security remains uncertain, prompting many individuals to question the viability of the program, such as pondering whether Social Security funds will be fully depleted. According to an annual report released by the Social Security Board of Trustees, the cash reserves for Social Security are projected to be exhausted by the year 2032. It is anticipated that yearly tax revenues will only cover about 75% of benefits by then. The situation is partly attributed to the prolongation of life expectancy, a diminishing workforce, and a surge in retirees. By the year 2035, the population of Americans aged 65 and older is set to exceed 78 million, in contrast to the present figure of about 56 million. So consequently, more individuals will be withdrawing from the Social Security system, while fewer contributors will be paying into it. Nevertheless, this doesn't imply that the program will completely exhaust its funds. It is expected that payroll taxes will still account for approximately 78% of stipulated benefits. Yet in the absence of measures to bridge the funding gap, retirees might receive reduced Social Security payments, or the working population could face heightened contributions. And if no alterations are implemented, the forthcoming state of Social Security is likely to resemble the following scenario. For those contemplating reliance on the program in 2033, it's vital to acknowledge the possibility of receiving lower Social Security benefits than initially anticipated. If no corrective actions are taken to address the deficit in the trust fund, benefits may need to be curtailed by approximately 24.9%. And such a reduction in benefits could have substantial financial ramifications for numerous retired individuals. Statistical data from the Social Security Administration reveals that Social Security constitutes at least 50% of income for half of older married couples and 70% for single older individuals. Even though the depletion of Social Security funds is not anticipated until 2033, various strategies to address the financial gap have already been proposed. Some of these strategies include elevating the payroll tax rate, increasing the full retirement age, and scaling back the annual adjustments for the cost of living. This week, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin celebrated the anniversary of the Inflation Reduction Act, the landmark law he co-authored in negotiations with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Senator Manchin said in an official statement, "The Inflation Reduction Act is one of the most historic pieces of legislation passed in decades, and we are already seeing real results in West Virginia." Senator Manchin also praised the law for lowering the cost of prescription prices for 400,000 West Virginians on Medicare, as well as capping insulin costs at $35 per month for seniors. As sales of electric vehicles continue to surge, many new and prospective customers have questions about qualifying for federal tax credits on electric vehicles, especially now that a slew of new credits have been reinstated to U.S. consumers. New terms implemented this January 1st limit the number of electric vehicles that currently qualify based on a number of factors pertaining to local U.S. manufacturing. The amount you qualify for is based on both your income tax as well as several specifications of the electric vehicle that you decide to purchase, including where it is built. And since President Biden took office, the White House has introduced 2 bills to expand electric vehicle adoption, one of which included funding for heavily expanded electric vehicle charging infrastructure. At the time, there were rumors that the federal tax credit would be increased to $10,000 and was quickly mentioned as a reform. The second, larger bill sat within Biden's Build Back Better Act, but it could not get past the Senate in late 2021. So you may qualify for an electric vehicle tax credit of up to $7,500. The credit is currently available to individuals and their businesses, although many lawmakers still oppose this tax credit. That is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Wednesday. My dear friends, thank you so very, very much for being part of this community. To say thank you, I will be announcing several winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.